What is up guys, and welcome back to another video on SP Vids. In this one we're back on the SP404sx again. This has been on the channel a lot recently, featuring a lot. It's because I'm just spending a lot of time with it. Since I started playing with the pattern sequencer, I've just been addicted to using this machine. So that's kind of the topic what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about workflows and how I've been now using the SP for my workflows. So it's changed slightly, and this isn't going to be new to some of you, but what I've been doing is using the backup save and backup load a lot more than I usually do. So in the past what I'd do is fill up all the banks essentially and then do a backup save of that, and then I've got like the whole contents of my SD card saved. One issue with that, it takes ages to save it and it takes ages if you want to load it again, and you kind of go to your backup loads and just think, I can't even be bothered to load that in because it's going to take about 5 minutes to do it. So that was frustrating me, but then I decided to do this, which probably loads of you already do, and that's just to save one song at a time, or one beat at a time. This makes so much more sense. I don't know why I haven't been doing it in the past really. So if I go to function backup load, as you can see here, I've got two different saves at the moment. I'm working on a brand new tape for you guys. So I've got 2 beats done, and essentially what I've done is saved each beat to 1 and 2 there. So I've got 2 beats. So I'll only be able to save a maximum of 12, but that's actually more than I used to be able to do anyway, because I would usually have 5 and then another 5 on the bank, so that's 10. And to be honest, usually A or F would be reserved for all my drum sounds anyway. So I usually only had about 8 banks worth of beats, and that's because I use 1 bank per beat usually. What I'm doing now, which is way better, is I'm using the whole SP for 1 beat. So I mean, I've got a lot of the stuff that I need for this beat on the first bank. They're the chops. They're the drums, which I think are actually from Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3, which is really close to being finished now. And then I've got a couple of bass notes. And what I've actually done on the bottom button here is I've just used the internal mic to set a little reminder of what the BPM is, because one thing I've found is when you do backup saves and backup loads, it doesn't remember the BPM that you're working at. So that's a really good point, is to make sure you make a little voice note. So yeah, essentially using the pattern sequencer again, so I've got 3 patterns here. Okay, so you get the idea with that. I've got 1 pad with just the chops, 1 pad with the full loop, and 1 pad with a little pause at the start. Obviously there's room for more there, and I probably will add more in the future. But the great thing about this is I can continue to work on beats now, which is something that I couldn't really do in the past. So yeah, I've got my first bank with most of the stuff on that I need, but if you run out of bank space, it's just such a better workflow because you can just go to the next bank. So for example, maybe on this bank I just want like rapper sounds to experiment with. I could just fill that bank with rapper sounds, and then I could go into the pattern sequencer, start this pattern sequence, come out of it while it's playing, and experiment around with all those just on that 1 bank. So this is a way better workflow. And then what I did then basically is I made those 3 patterns. I was like, okay, I'm kind of happy with that. And I would do a function backup save, and I'd choose one of these pads. I'm just going to choose 9 for this one, just because I know to delete it a little bit later. So let's do 9 and record. And hopefully this shouldn't take too long because it's not an awful amount of data which I'm saving. Okay, so there we go. That only took about 15-20 seconds, which is a lot better than trying to do a backup of the whole thing. It usually takes about 3 or 4 minutes. So I've got that saved there now, and I'm going to go ahead and load another beat. So let's go to 1, and I'm going to press record to load it, and now it's doing the loading. And what I've got now is a whole SP's worth of space to work on my other beat which I've got in here. So let's go to A. So there we go, we've got the chops, the drums.
Death Merchant. Death Merchant.
That's another sound that's going to be in Lo-Fi Drums Volume 3. And I've just added some delay to it. So this is the problem I'm talking about here. don't think it's remembered the BPM, although I do remember this has got quite a quick BPM. That could actually be right, so I'm not sure why that's remembered it this time round. But yeah, pretty quick beat this one.
Death merchants. Death merchants.
Okay, so there we go. So I'm working on that beat again now, and I've got all the space on the SP to work with it. Okay, so let's say I want to go back and do some more work on that other beat we were just working on before. It's there on 9. I'll just do 9 and record. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. Just make sure you wait until everything's done. Don't remove the SD card or anything like that. And if I go in here, there we go, we're back in business with that one. So that's all I wanted to show you in this one, guys. Obviously, I've been talking a lot about how I've been using the pattern sequencer recently, and using that and this workflow is just really, really cool now. There is one downside, which I have to point out, is that if you do a save and then you want to make a change and save it again, you can't rewrite the pad, if that makes sense. You have to save it into another pad. So if I liked the change I'd done on this, for example, now, and I decided I wanted to do a save, you'd have to do backup save, and I'd have to save it to 10, and then I'd delete 9. So yeah, you can't overwrite 9, you see, it's not letting you choose it as an option. So yeah, probably not new to a lot of you out there, that I never thought about saving one beat at a time before. I know that's kind of crazy, but it's just one of those things where I sat down at the SP and thought, hold on, what if I just save every beat one at a time into one of the slots on the backup save? Turns out it's way, way better. So yeah, I'm sure there's loads of you out there already doing this. It was a bit of a revelation for me, and it's actually really cool now, because I can just sit down and work on different beats at different times and not have to worry about how they sounded or where they were up to or anything like that. I've got all my progress saved, and I've got all the banks to add additional sounds if I want to. So that's it for this one, guys. I really hope you're having a good festive period. Sorry the uploads have been a bit slow the past few weeks, but yeah, it's getting towards Christmas and I am losing the motivation at the moment. So yeah, I'm just enjoying some time with my girlfriend at the moment, really. But yeah, I am going to try and get out some more videos. If you're a member, I will be dropping a members video this week as well. There's one going out on Christmas Day, which I've already pre-recorded and got ready, so you can look out for that. But there may not be another video now before Christmas. If not, I hope you have a great Christmas, and I'll be back very soon with content. Hope you're all doing well, guys, and keep making beats. Peace!